everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I posted last. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and for some reason it just never seemed like the right time to film. So I have finally set aside some time to catch you all up and let you know what I've been doing. I can't even remember the last time I filmed or what was going on. I do know that I am still fighting with my insurance company. I'm still fighting with my infusion center. And we had a bad batch for the taxes. So it's been very stressful, and I've been trying to get back into the swing of things and kind of shove all that stuff in the background and not let it affect my fitness journey as much as it had been. I do know that for several months I was snacking like crazy. I was eating all kinds of stuff. Although my weight did not shift all that much, I know my inside body chemistry did. So let's just say that the number on the scale, as I've always said, is not the true indicator of what is going on. I just decided I needed to get back on it. Like I said, we had a lot of stuff going on. We were out of town a lot. Oh, I had my race. That's right. I haven't filmed since I did my half marathon. And before my half marathon, there had been a month of just my kids being sick, me being sick, me not feeling well, just things going on. So I went into the race highly unprepared, like very unprepared, and it showed. So I went to Florida with my best friend. We went to Walt Disney World. We did the Princess Challenge. We did the 10K on Saturday. I have to say that the 10K went rather well. My best friend was not as, I guess, what she thought was as trained as I was, merely because she had not been working out as much as I had, but I had been off for a month, and I warned her. I was like, you might think that I'm more fit than you are, but the truth is I haven't trained at all in the last month, and I've been eating crappy. So let's just see what happens. So we went out, and the 10K went better for me than it did for my best friend. I felt energetic. I was fine. Obviously not the best time in the world. It was also under a heat advisory. It was running through pea soup, like hot pea soup. It was just, the air was so thick, and everything was just so hot. Anyway, but I came out of that race way more sore and broken down than I should have for just a 10K. We rested the rest of the day, but I was feeling way more not good than I should have. So I went into the half marathon the next day like that. I have said before that Florida races are bullshit. I stand by that. One of the main reasons is the heat and humidity. One of the other reasons is just directly related to it being at Walt Disney World. They make you get there too early in the morning. Like, the race doesn't start until 5:30 for the A corral. And by the time one of the last corrals, which we're usually in, goes, it's like an hour to an hour and a half later. And they make you get there at like 3:30 in the morning. So we've literally been standing around for like 3 hours minimum before we even start. And then they make you walk a mile from the corrals to the actual start line. So you've already done a mile and you've been standing there for 3 hours. Like, what do they expect to happen? It was insane. I knew the second we started, it was not going to be a good race. I was not going to be happy. I was really hoping that I would get swept. I wasn't going to give up on my own. It needed to be the race telling me that you need to stop. But I was fervently hoping that they would. I missed every opportunity for that. I seemed to have gone past each cutoff. Because every time I turned around, there should have been a few thousand people behind me, and there would be like a few hundred. And I'm like, okay, they cut it somewhere right behind me. Like, why wasn't I in that? Why didn't I have a bus to get on? I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Everything was hurting. I had a ginormous blister on the ball of my right foot. I was losing a toenail. It was not fun, but Florida once again did not cooperate with me and made me finish the race. So I did end up getting all my medals, and I did finish. I was not happy. It was the worst race I have ever done, and that includes the Dark Side race at Florida last time, which I thought was a horrible race, but at least I didn't hurt as much as I did this time. I did end up losing the toenail. It took a month. It came off last week, but it was nasty looking until then. So anyway, that is the update on my races. Florida races are bullshit, and don't go into races without being trained because you will be miserable. That's the moral of that story. Anyway, coming out of that, I didn't really go back to the gym too much. I was like on and off, different things going on. Obviously, I had to recuperate from the race. I was limping very badly for like a week afterwards because of the bruises in my toe. And I was eating Trader Joe's dark chocolate, peanut butter, mini cups. Those things are crack, at least to me. Those are, oh, I can't stop once I start. It's just, they are so delicious. And I would get the munchies at like 9:30, 10 at night. And instead of going to bed like a good girl, I would be like, peanut butter cups. And next thing, I literally would just eat them in the dark while watching like late night TV and leave the wrappers on the table so that I could count them in the morning to know how much I had eaten, and then record it in my FitnessPal. Like, I still record everything, whether it's crappy or not. But that is how bad it was. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna eat 3. Like, I would eat so many I couldn't keep track and just leave the wrappers out so I could count them in the morning. And then just fall asleep. It was horrible. Don't do that. It's bad. So, amazingly, the scale didn't move that much, but I knew without training and having all this shit in my system that it had not been a good time. Anyway, my gym started up it's a partner challenge. So instead of a big team challenge, it's just a partner challenge. So me and my fellow bitch were like, we need to get our shit in gear, and we decided to start a team. So we are team deep thrusters, and which is hilarious because neither one of us can really do a deep thrust. She squats worse than I do, and for some reason a squat combined with a press is like, I can do the squat, I can do the press. I'm actually pretty good at both of them, but you put them together and I have trouble. I don't know why. But funny name, so there you go. Anyway, so we started the challenge. We've been in it for a week and a couple days now. So I weighed in not this last weekend, but the weekend before, and did my InBody. Now, as you can see, it's exactly what I expected. My muscle mass went down at one of the lowest muscle masses I've ever had. And my body fat went up, which is sad because I had been so good at trying to get it down, and I was getting so close to like that 30%, and I just screwed it up. So anyway, the amount of fat I have to lose obviously went up, that number up in the corner. And yeah, so, but it was a good place to start, and I was like, all right, here we go. So I was starting it. My plan was to copy my plan from last time, from the last challenge I did, because it turned out so well. I was just gonna do high protein, macro diet, and just be in the gym as much as I can and ride that wave all the way to the finish line. But a few days into the challenge, an old friend of mine, who I did not know was doing keto, and incidentally, that's what my partner does. She does keto because she's diabetic, and it really helps out with dropping the amount of insulin she has to take and how much food she needs to eat. And it transforms her. It's amazing. So she's going back onto keto, and my friend from childhood messaged me saying that he had come across a blog post about a lady who was on keto, and it had pretty much put her Crohn's into remission. And I tried the Whole30 last year. I'm sure you all remember how that turned out. It was supposed to be amazing for Crohn's. It threw me into a flare worse than I've been in for a while. My go-tos are carbs when I'm not feeling well. Gluten seems to be my friend. I don't know why. It's just something that my body can digest when I'm not feeling well. So that's why the Whole30 failed for me, because it was cutting those out. So I'm a little skeptical on keto, because it's the same thing, low carbs. It's just a different background on why you would do it. But I was willing to give it a try. My friend said, this one guy that he follows, Mark Sisson, S-I-S-S-O-N. If somebody knows how to pronounce that, please let me know. Was pretty legit, had some books out, give it a look. It might help me out. I was like, cool, thanks for thinking of me. So I did buy his book, the 21-Day Keto Reset. And I've been reading it. It's pretty heavy on the science. At the beginning, he repeats himself a lot. But the gist of it pulls together a lot of stuff that I've learned over the past decade on my own. The whole foods approach from nourishing traditions, the advent of our autoimmune and different kinds of diseases that started with the advent of agriculture. About 10,000 years ago, I read the book by Spencer Wells, a geneticist, that delved into that, how our hunter-gatherer body does not do well on a grain diet. Like, that's what pretty much inflamed everything and just has led to all the diseases that are currently plaguing us. So I have done research in the past that he kind of touches on, and it kind of draws it all together into this one diet. And I'm like, okay, I see where you're going. I get it. Like, I understand the science behind it. So I've been trying to do a little bit of keto, like I'm easing myself into it the last 3 or 4 days. I've also started intermittent fasting, which although my friends seem to be really amazed at how well I do on it, it's just the truth of my life as a Crohn's patient. When I'm not feeling well, I don't eat. That's the way it goes. When I'm not feeling well and I put something in my mouth, I immediately have to run to the bathroom. It's just a trigger effect. It's like, seriously, it hasn't even hit my stomach yet, and I'm already having a lot of abdominal stress and pains, and it just goes crazy. So if I have to go somewhere, I don't eat. Like, if I know I have to leave the house, I don't eat. So going without food for long periods of time is something that's natural to me. It's something I've been doing since I was a teenager. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll structure it a little bit more and try it when I'm not feeling bad and see how that goes. So I started intermittent fasting a few days ago. I've been using an app to time my fast. I've been doing 16 hours. So I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, and I eat again at 12 o'clock the next day, which means I have to work out through not eating, which is usual for me when I work out first thing in the morning, not so much later in the day. So that's kind of getting used to it. I was a little lightheaded today. I was fine on Friday when I did it. Not so much today, although today was a hard cardio intensity kind of day. So I was feeling a little lightheaded, but I managed to get through it and then made it through the rest of my fast. I have been trying to throw in those fats, and it's a lot of fat, but healthy fat. Like, don't be going out and, eating a bunch of like bacon fat or something, I guess. Although that is delicious. Healthy fats, avocados, avocado oils. He's very into the avocado stuff. So his brand is Primal Kitchen. So I bought a bunch of the stuff, trying it out, adding the fats in the diet. Your body's supposed to be running off the fats and the ketones that it produces from that instead of carbs, and then you become a fat burning machine instead of a carb burning machine. That's kind of the thought behind it. So we'll see. I did drop 3 pounds in one day. But I'm gonna credit part of that to the amount of coconut, which is another huge thing that I had on Saturday, because coconut cleans you out, and boy did it clean me out the next day. So that's gonna be part of that. Anyway, I started the challenge at 192. I weighed in at 186 today. So a week and 2 days into it, and I've lost, what, like 6 pounds. So we'll see how it goes from there. I know this is a long one, but obviously I have not filmed in like a month or two, so had to catch you up. Doing the challenge. Although I'm not fully keto, it's not like I'm in ketosis right now. I'm trying to get there, but I'm going to ease into it instead of just jumping in, because I'm not quite sure how my body's going to react to it. So I do things a lot more slowly than a normal person would, because I don't know how my Crohn's is going to react to it. So easing into keto, doing the intermittent fasting. My coach is making me drink a shit ton of water, so I'm peeing all the time. But I seem to be getting there. It's definitely weird not trying to pack in the protein, instead packing in the fat, but you know, what are you gonna do? That's what it says to do. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. So far, good results. And I have to say that one of the things about keto is it's supposed to make you feel full. Like you're not supposed to be jumping from carb to carb, because carb's a quick burning energy. So once your body's gone through it, then you're hungry again, and fat is slow burning. So the whole thing is you eat more fat, but then you don't have to eat as much. I ate dinner last night, and halfway through I was stuffed, and I was like, I'm so full. I was only gonna eat half my dinner anyway, because it wasn't keto, it was a Blue Apron meal, but I had to cook it up. But I was so full, like I couldn't finish it. So let's hope that that keeps up, because it would be nice not to be hungry all the time. Anyway, I will try to be way more regular on this, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.